Okay, so if you, as a leader of your generation, which you are, and others in this room who are also leaders of your generation, were tasked with rooting out socialism in the United States, what would be your strategy, and what institutions would you target first?
Okay, that is a huge question. I'm going to try to answer that like the best I can. Okay, so I believe that the younger generations have a huge potential. Jonathan Edwards said that the younger generations the young people are the people that are going to bring revival to any form of country, whether it be economic, religious, moral, etc. So it begins with younger generations stepping up that actually know history, know economics, and basically going up to these people that don't have that form of education and having conversation. I think dialogue is probably the most important way to solve that problem. Another thing that's important is we need to direct people to good sources because education is playing a role in socialism being accepted by the young people. We need to direct people to books like The Consequences of Ideas, John Frame's historical book on the history of Western philosophy. A good study of American history is fundamental. We also need to direct our attention to books that are satire, or we can direct our attention to books that from people that have actually experienced socialism and have fled from it. And another way we can address the younger generations is by sharing through testimony. There are some people that have experienced socialism or have reaped from the benefits of capitalism that they can confidently say, this is a problem in our country. For me, example, I'm first generation American. My parents fled from Russia to have a better economic opportunity here. And that is what influenced me into writing this paper and ultimately into why I want to reach the younger generation with this.
So I really do believe that when I'm, as a very old person, when I'm hanging out in my old folks' home somewhere and TV comes on, I'm expecting to hear the name Albatov and others in this room to be influencing the direction of our culture. Okay? I mean, I'm not being cute. I really do believe that. Okay? And part of my question in that, as you consider your role in your future and your responsibility, what role do you see the health of the church playing in the eradication of or in the allowance of socialism or the growth of socialism in the United States?
That is an awesome question. Okay, so first and foremost, there's a social gospel going around that promises that socialism is a biblical idea that can help people. Now remember, the Old Testament outlines several times that God calls us to help orphans, widows, the poor, and the foreigners constantly. However, this never should be the role of the government. It should only be the role of the people. So starting with the church, we as churches should help people that are struggling with poverty, because that's socialism's main goal, is trying to make a classless society, right? Marx had good intentions of trying to get rid of poverty. And actually there's a really good quote by Mr. John Frame. He mentions that it's actually the churches that have made the greatest impact on socialism and its problems. And this is not just Christianity, this is also other religions that are actually taking apart and saying, hey, we're gonna help these people. And we have to remember that you cannot give a poor person the food, you gotta give them the rod to catch that food. And that's what churches do a really good job of doing, is they're giving them the means to provide for themselves rather than constant reliance on either government or people.